how close do you think a Markstrom deal was to getting done? And I get it's speculation and all that, but there were some things written and said over the weekend that Markstrom was, again, he said he would do whatever he had to do, and he's a good team guy. That there was even he thought that he was going to be on the move as recent as a week ago.
I mean, to handicap it, I'd 95%.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
really.
I've received lots of pushback on that, but I believe from working sources around the league that's how far it was. And frankly, part of that comes down to not just Markstrom's willingness, but I think he's a realist here. He understands that as well as he's played this year, if he wants a chance to win a Stanley Cup, it's not going to happen in Calgary on this contract. It just isn't. And he's a competitive guy that wants an opportunity to win. And whether that's in New Jersey or Carolina or wherever it might be that has, a chance to trade for him, it's certainly going to be a better opportunity for him personally than staying in Calgary. And that's ultimately what he's really after.
We mentioned it at some other point. I don't know if we talked about it with you, but this is maybe one of the most meager goaltending free agent classes of like the last decade. Like you're talking like old 36-year-old Cam Talbot and like Kakko Kakkonen and a bunch of like platoon guys is the top of the list. Does that make you believe maybe that the Flames are they're cool if this happens in June, July, or March, like whatever the market, if they think not enough, we'll just wait till the summer. Someone will be begging.
Yeah, I think that's part of it, is also looking at, again, how thin the market is for teams that would want to trade for Markstrom right now. So Carolina's pretty confident that when they get Freddie Anderson back, that some combination of the three of them, Anderson, Ranta, and Kochetkov, is enough. Toronto, they feel good about Wall, Samsonov, Martin Jones.
Can I interrupt you? That's not feeling good about anything. That's juggling and hoping something hits.
Okay, but that's also the other part of the trading for a goalie is like, I think taking a guy mid-season and plugging him into a new team is also hoping that fits.
When you have three number ones, you don't have a number one. Yeah. I thought it used to be two.
Yeah, and I'm not I know what you're saying, and I agree with that's their approach to it. But really, when you can sit back, and your point about moving a goalie's a good one too. It's easy to think, he's going to come in and continue to play the same way.
That's what I would be saying if I was trying to buy a goaltender on the cheap. We got three guys. We're pretty happy with them. They've all at different times. They've all played really well. We're pretty happy with what we've got.
No, but the thing is, Markstrom is the only guy on the market, and this will be true to Pinder's point this summer. He's the only guy that you can feel really good about setting your watch to and saying he's going to come in and give me at least 905, at least. And when you take some of these teams that look at Toronto and the other holes, we've just talked about that. Look at New Jersey and how poor their defense is structured. You can make all the fire Lindy Ruff chants you want. You can have the columnist in the paper in New Jersey today, headline, fire Lindy.
Jeez.
But here's the thing. Tom Fitzgerald deserves some criticism here for the way this team is constructed. And until that's no longer the case, like Markstrom or whoever it might be is not a miracle worker. But the point and the reason why I went down that path is New Jersey has an appetite for stability. They are willing and have assets and ready to make a move. Carolina doesn't spend. If they are going to spend, it's going to be for a perfect fit, and it's going to be probably a forward.
Yeah.
Toronto, holes on defense, holes on their bottom six. The Kings, I can't see them with the way that they've structured their goaltending to be a team that's going to spend massively. My whole point here is Markstrom had a very limited market. It's bound to be a much bigger market this summer. And to go back to what Rhett and I and Pinder were talking about last week is the idea that the Flames might be able to have their cake and eat it too by moving out these free agents and somehow on the back of Markstrom squeak into a playoff spot this year. I mean, that has to be a real discussion point right now, even if you pluck off Tanev and Hanifin.
the New York Rangers, again, as we're talking about goaltending,
Can
they
I stop you there,
yeah,
Dean? Just
do it,
because,
go.
just to follow up with that, what Frank's saying, does that mean, does that change your want if you're Conroy? Like if you're that close and you're not going to move Markstrom and you're thinking you still got a chance to get into playoffs, but you have to move Tanev, probably you have to move Hannafin. Does that change your return for them where you were going to look for guys to insert? I think they're open to it anyway, but do you know what I mean? Like typically, if you're moving guys that high end, or you're gonna be, yeah, I want as many picks and fill the cupboards and give us some chances at some real high end stuff. Whereas if you're in a spot where you're a couple points out, you remove Tanev and Hannafin. Like
Second pair.
Mark,
Poof.
can you? I don't know. Maybe my question's stupid, but I was just curious if that means that Conroy is going to be asking for different assets.
No, I think, well, first off, the market is what it is. But like, let's say you were able to get, just hypothetically, and some people have reported this, and I put this in air quotes, an Alexander Holtz from New Jersey. Like all of a sudden you see someone that's already hit double-digit goals, 21 years old. He can help you in the meantime, but really it's not for this year. He's for 2 years from now or whatever it is as he continues to grow. I don't think the look is different because I think the Flames have been pretty steadfast in knowing that at some point as part of the packages here, they need some pieces you can use now. And Kuzmenko is a good example of that. And the priority that they placed on that deal and doing it with Van. But I look at this group now and I say, as exciting as it might be to be the 8th seed, you can't lose sight of the big picture here. And I don't think that they would do that.
Yeah, and it's maybe be the 8th seed if they play like 750 hockey down the stretch. I understand it's been a great week, Flames fans, but like perspective, 58 games they've played. They are out of a playoff spot. This is a large sample with this group. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out more of our content right here on the Flames Nation YouTube page. We had a bunch of great long-form interviews. You can check out some videos we've done as well outside of the studio. And of course, if you want more writing or merchandise stuff, flamesnation.ca or nationgear.ca. Appreciate you watching.